Sacred Games on Netflix is based on the critically acclaimed novel of the same name by Vikram Chandra. The web series is set against two timelines. One timeline is set in present-day Mumbai and follows policeman Sartai Singh, played by Saif Ali Khan, and Anjali Mathur, Radhika Apte, who try to stop an attack on the city by chasing the criminal past of Ganesh Gaitan, Nawazuddin Siddiqui. The second timeline is set in 80s and 90s Bombay and follows the rise and fall of Gaitan. The book and series make reference to notable events in India's history including the 1993 Bombay bombings and the Bofors scam. The show has been embroiled in a scandal for insulting former Prime Minister Rajiv Gandhi, with one character referring to him as AP. Gandhi took over as Prime Minister of India after his mother, Indira Gandhi, was assassinated in 1984. But what is the 1975 emergency under Indira Gandhi? What is the Sacred Games controversy about? What is the 1975 emergency under Indira Gandhi? Indira Gandhi rose to power between 1967 and 1971 as a central figure in the Indian National Congress Party. She was the first and has been the only female Prime Minister of India and served from 1966 to 1977 and again from 1980 until she was assassinated by her own bodyguards in October 1984. The 1975 emergency was a state of emergency that was imposed by Prime Minister Indira Gandhi between June 25, 1975, and March 21, 1977. The emergency lasted for 21 months in total. A state of emergency allowed Prime Minister Gandhi the power to rule by decree, meaning she could surpass Parliament and implement her own laws. The emergency meant PM Gandhi could also suspend elections and to limit its civil freedoms such as freedom of expression, right to peaceful assembly and right to self-determination. The order was issued in response to a series of internal disturbances in the nation and external threats to the new Indian state which became independent from Britain in 1947. Gandhi cited the war with Pakistan as a reason for the emergency order alongside the weak economy which was suffering from an oil crisis and drought in the region. Is Sacred Games a real story? There had also been numerous internal uprisings against Gandhi's government. On top of that, there had been student protests known as the Navnirman movement which led to the resignation of the Chief Minister of State Legislature Chumanpally Patel. There were also assassination attempts on several leaders and the murder of the Railway Minister L.N. Mishra. The largest union in India, the Railway Employees Union, organized a national strike which was suppressed by Indira Gandhi's government and led to the arrest of thousands of employees. Indira Gandhi in 1975 was found guilty of misuse of government machinery for her election campaign and India's High Court declared her election null and void. Sacred Games is based on what gangster? On June 24, she challenged the court's decision in the Supreme Court which agreed to allow her to continue to remain as PM pending the outcome of her appeal. This led to large anti-government protests led by J.P. Narayan and Morarji Desai, who called for police to ignore orders to stop the protests. Later that day, a state of emergency was issued by President Fakhruddin Ali Ahmed under Article 352 of the Constitution. Within hours the press was censored, arrests of political opponents began and alternative political parties were based. All elections were postponed throughout the emergency which gave Gandhi's party the ability to alter the country's laws as they had the majority in parliament. She also put his son, Sanjay Gandhi, in charge of setting up a forced mass sterilization campaign to monitor population control. The program forcefully sterilized men and between 1975 and 1977, 2 million Indian men were sterilized in 1 year according to the BBC. 6. Science journalist Mara Hussain Dahi said this was 15 times the number of people sterilized by the Nazis. In response to the emergency, there were resistance movements which had to work as underground organizations as they were banned by the emergency. The emergency ended on March 23, 1977, after Gandhi called for elections and released all political prisoners. Members of her party and electorate stronghold areas turned against Gandhi and she lost. Sacred Games is on Netflix now.